All right, Dan, this week we are taking a look for our one-on-one at two of the greatest quarterbacks of our era or any era, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. We're trying to debate which one is better. You're on the Drew Brees side of the argument. You can go first.
Here's why I'm going with Brees. I look at the numbers over the past 3 seasons. Drew Brees is on top in almost everyone you look at. Yards, he has more than Tom Brady over the past 3 seasons. Drew Brees, only quarterback in league history with 2 5,000-yard seasons under his belt. You look at touchdowns, more for Drew Brees than Tom Brady. Completion percentage, we both think of these as 2 of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. Drew Brees, 69.9% average over the past 3 seasons. Tom Brady, in any year, has never had a completion percentage that high, and his average is about 5 points lower than Brees over the past 3 seasons. So I think anywhere you look, I think Brees is on top.
Well, you're saying anywhere you look, but you're actually saying anywhere you look in the past 3 seasons. So what we really have to do is obviously look at the entire scope of these guys' career, and that for me is kind of maybe my number one argument in the case of Tom Brady. We'll get to the wins in a moment. We'll get to some other areas. But when I think of a quarterback, I think of leadership. And when I think of a leader, there's no one that sort of embodies that more for me than Tom Brady. I think the definition of a leader is making the guys around you better, making your team better. Look at some of the guys Tom Brady's had to work with over the years. Wes Welker, very, very good player. Deion Branch, very, very good player. Would they be in the level that they're at without Brady? I'm not so sure. He took his team to a Super Bowl last year with no defense, no running game. He always makes the players, the teams around him better. That's why I think he's the best leader out there.
I think if you talk to anyone who's ever played with Drew Brees, they would say the exact same things about his leadership ability. And I also look at what these two guys did in crunch time last season. I saw some pretty interesting disparity between the two of them. When the game was in the fourth quarter, the game was in 7 points. Tom Brady, his completion percentage is more than 6 points lower than what Drew Brees was in that same scenario. Touchdown interception ratio, Drew Brees 7-1, pretty outstanding. Tom Brady only 6-6. Drew Brees' quarterback rating in the fourth quarter when the game was within 7 points, more than 30 points higher than Tom Brady's. In crunch time, Drew Brees has been a better quarterback than Tom Brady if we go off of last season's results.
And listen, I'm not going to find one thing to knock on Drew Brees last season. Obviously breaking records left and right, just an incredible campaign and kind of the reason why we're having this conversation, the giant step that he took last year as a player. But what I look at, everyone wants to talk about Drew Brees, the most accurate passer in NFL history. You can't argue that fact. The completion percentage says it all. What he also does a lot more than Tom Brady is turns the ball over. Brady throughout his career has only went 1 interception over 46 attempts. When you talk about Drew Brees, you're closer to 37.5 attempts at 1 interception. When I look at that, when I see those numbers, I kind of view it at least as Tom Brady is the king of finding matchups. He knows always where to go with the football. He's always looking to exploit the weakness of the opposition. I think that's the reason why he has a little bit better luck with not turning the ball over as frequently.
It's true. Drew Brees does throw more picks than Tom Brady. He also throws the ball more than Tom Brady. But we're talking about accuracy here, and you look at completion percentage, Drew Brees is the king. No one in that league is better than him, including Tom Brady.
No argument here. I'll just maintain that one of the keys in football and winning, which is what we're going to get to in a moment, is protecting the football. Clearly, Tom Brady's been a little bit better in that department. It's a perfect segue, too. You want to talk about any competition between the great quarterbacks of all time. We talked a little bit about leadership. We talked a little bit about protecting the football, accuracy, as you had mentioned. I think we all know, we can probably both agree that the number one thing that people hang their hat on when they're talking about the great quarterbacks is wins and losses, and there's no debate in this department either. Tom Brady winning percentage 780 in his career. Drew Brees is at 601, so I don't really think the numbers are going to lie, and that's just in the regular season. We know what happens when you get to the playoffs. There's really been arguably no greater quarterback in postseason history than Tom Brady. I take that back. There's a few guys who have 3 or more Super Bowl wins as well. Of course, we know the names: Bradshaw, Montana, Aikman. Brady's in the rarest of company, makes players around him great, winning quarterback. For me, that's what really ends this debate.
Well, listen, Drew Brees has won a Super Bowl more recently than Tom Brady. I think he may be living a little bit too far in the past, and also that's more a reflection, I think, of an overall team achievement more than an individual job done. I think Tom Brady's been absolutely outstanding in the postseason for the most part, but he also had some pretty good defenses when the Patriots were in their prime. Drew Brees, I don't think, has ever had a defense, never had a supporting cast quite as strong as some of the ones that Tom Brady had when the Patriots were at their best.
Well, we're not finding a whole lot to agree on today, but I think one thing that we can certainly agree on, we are talking about 2 of the all-time greats. I'm quite sure if either one of us are building a team or just discussing the greats of all time, surefire Hall of Famers, and there's really no wrong answer to this debate, but it's been fun.